Hello and welcome. So, Warhammer 40k has many novels, and some of them are actually good. Now, Warhammer 40,000 is a fantastic setting. It's grim, it's dark, and it's great for storytelling. And not just for narrative players like myself. Keeping a setting instead of an involving storyline means you can do so much more with the models and the ones that can be made, or the ones that already exist, and the expansion books that can be made and written too. So let's talk about why Warhammer 40k needs to stay a setting and veer away from the evolving storyline it seems to be turning into. First is the Primarchs. The Warhammer 40,000 setting starts after the Horus Heresy, which makes most of the Loyalist Primarchs still alive, until they die or straight up just bugger off in their timeline. No, in the timeline. This means, sorry, this means Rogel Dawn, Jakadi Khan, and Vulcan should be usable in the setting. We know they were active after the Horus Heresy. Rogel Dawn was about during the Third Founding, and Vulcan took part in the War of the Beast series. Also, Conrad Kurz would also be alive. He was killed well after the Horus Heresy, so there's no reason why he can't have a plastic mini too. Primarchs are money makers for Games Workshop. They are great centerpiece models and great for those who just like painting models to show off. The argument against the Primarchs is that they are dead. I'm just going to remind you that Tycho has been a mainstay of the Blood Angels and died during the Battle of Armageddon, and that was first written, as I know, in the second edition Codex. So just because they died during this timeline doesn't mean you can't use them, especially if there's been hundreds of years between Horus Heresy and their death. Now, talking of Armageddon, what an amazing expansion that would be, The planet that has constantly been at war, every chapter, legion, faction, everyone has fought on that planet. Armageddon is just one planet in millions as well, and most of them can be expanded upon. There's also 10,000 years of stories to go through. So, you could have an expansion book based at any time during the 40k timeline. One I would like to see is a Leagues of Votann expansion that shows how they hid from Chaos or the fight against the Tyranids and how that went. Imagine being able to play these historical battles and having further lore to dive deeper into these conflicts and heroes, some that died and that some survived all these battles. I mean, it would be interesting. Also, I'd like to mention that 9th edition codexes aren't great for lore. There's so little in it. It's quite a shame. If it ones I got were better, I might have been tempted to get a Leagues of Votann one, but honestly, I've had no interest in buying it. And then there's the races. Now look, there's lots of races in the galaxy, and now some are extinct since in the last 10,000 years, and I believe the Hurad is one of them. Which, after the actions of a certain Horus Lupercal, the Hurad had many runs-in with the Eldari. This is what led to the time-manipulating race of Xenos meet their final demise. Now, if Games Workshop don't wish to make models for existing Xenos in their stories, and what are named in books, making brand new races wouldn't be out of the question either. I mean, it would be great to see some different models outside of Orcs, Eldar, Tyranids, and of course Imperial Chaos. Seeing Hurad, or I don't know, anyone really. Tau, I suppose. And don't forget, Tau were actually evolved within 5,000 years. They had such a short evolution. It's incredibly crazy. So yeah, we could have had a whole new race pop up in the galaxy during this last 10,000 years. Now, to me, the biggest problem with an evolving storyline actually is an issue that setting doesn't have. And that's not needing to focus on a single faction. Look, 9th edition has really highlighted this issue with Space Marines getting so much love. They've had lots of new novels, they've had new models, they've had new everything. And with 10th being hinted of being Blood Angels and Tyranids. Look, don't get me wrong, I love the Blood Angels, but let's see, and Tyranids are pretty cool too. But Imperial God just getting a new box now and new models. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. And Space Marines get a lot of love, and that's the problem with a evolving storyline, because it's got to be focused on something. With a setting, there's no real focus on, so everyone can have a, you know, time in the spotlight and have some more novels. There's so many great, fantastic. Okay, it's the Gaunt's Ghost books. The Gaunt's Ghost books are the best Imperial Guard books. You got the Shield and Hammer of the Emperor omnibuses too, and they're pretty good. But there's kind of not that much when you compare it to Space Marines. If I was to look at my shelf right now, which I am, I can see straight away 10 Space Marine books and about 4 Imperial Guard and 1 Eldar because I'm reading the ones. But yeah, there's so many Space Marine books, and even then, the ones I'm looking at are just 2 chapters, and that's Blood Angels and Soul Drinkers. And Thousand Suns. Well, Araman. Don't know if that counts. But yeah, so yeah, an evolving storyline would have that problem because it has to be centered because it's a storyline, not a setting. So there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. So there you go. The use of new Primarchs are great for us if they could have its accenting. I have seen no reason why Rogue or Dawn, Vulcan, Jakadi Ken don't have rules for 40k because, okay, they disappeared near the start of 40k timeline, but they were about for a good couple of centuries each. So there is no reason why they're not there. New expansions highlighting lore and battles between like the Squats and the Tyranids would be great. Especially anything between the Horus Heresy and the Dominatus period. And more Xenos races that could have become extinct or, just appeared now. All this is great for a setting and why 40k needs to remain a setting and not a storyline. Anyway, what's your favourite things in 40k lore-wise and all that? This is just an opinion piece and just me spouting a bit of randomness so I can have a video out early this week. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a very good day. I'll see you all soon. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe as always. I do read your comments. I do try to get back to you guys all the time. I do read every comment. Links to Radiant Games for, I think it's like 20% off Warhammer, and free delivery after 20 quid. Forbidden Planet for comics, my comics for comics, t-shirts for t-shirts which I design, and my Patreon. I really got to check my Patreon to see if anyone's actually done anything. I haven't checked that for so long. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I'm trying to burn this out to 8 minutes, and I'm trying my best. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.